Am I the asshole? Bleep that. Hey, hope everyone's having a great day. If you don't know the Reddit thread, Am I the Asshole? It's basically a place where you can post your story and other people will chime in on it. Now, you might be labeled an asshole, or not the asshole, or everyone sucks. There's a couple different little descriptors, which I'll kind of pop open, that the stories could be labeled with. Now I'm going to read the stories, and I'm going to kind of make a decision for myself based on what the community in the comments will say. We'll see if we were right or wrong. I'm pretty smart, so I'm obviously going to be right every time. If the comments deviate from me, they're wrong, okay? They're just wrong. All right, so the first story I have for you guys is from Trendy Parker. Am I the asshole for refusing to help my father financially? Oh God. Growing up, my parents got divorced when I was 13 years old. It was a tough time for everyone, but I almost exclusively lived with my mom. This is sounding awfully relatable to me already. Do you have daddy issues, Trendy? Oh. Some visits to my father throughout the years until I was 18 and moved to go to university. My father had offered to pay for some of my residence fees at the university. My tuition was already covered by a scholarship I took. Oh, all right. We got a smart person here. During my second year at university, I found out that he had paid for about 3 months worth of fees and then just let the debt accumulate. That's nice. So I got a letter of reprimand saying that I would be thrown out of residence if I didn't have the money within a month. Now, I don't believe that I was entitled to have my residence paid for at all. However, I was entitled to know when my father stopped paying so that I could plan or pick up the extra work to afford a place to stay. I had to ask my mom to bail me out, but I paid her back with interest when I started working after university. Off the rip, I'm leaning toward Trendy's not an a-hole. Why did your dad just stop paying for it and then not tell you? Now, if it was like on an auto payment thing and it just like stopped somehow and he didn't know, then fine. But a little weird nonetheless. Why did he? Okay, whatever. Moving on. Fast forward some years, and as soon as I got a job, my father started asking for money from me. I didn't mind because the amounts weren't large and I was prepared to sacrifice the money. But over the course of 5 years, the amount of money I have sacrificed was most of my and my fiance's savings. So I cut my father off, saying I was not willing to give him any more money. If he paid for 3 months worth of fees in whatever, I don't know what that equates to in college. I didn't go to college.
You stupid bitch.
Personally. If you did, how much did you guys pay for fees and books and stuff like that for 3 months? Maybe you can let me know down in the comments, because I don't personally know. It's hard for me to think that 3 months worth of books, it's not tuition. It's just books and like other fees equates to 5 years of payments, unless you're giving your dad like $5 a month. I don't understand why he's even giving his dad money in the first place, to be honest. He subsequently, Jesus.
Stop right there!
Moved in with friends of his because he has not got a job, and from what I've heard, he has developed a problem with alcohol. These friends phoned me directly and said that I need to let my father move in with me because he is not their family and they are sick of having him around. And further, if you don't take him in, we are leaving him on the street. Let me get through the rest of this before I make any comment on that. This has caused me a lot of anxiety and pain because on one hand, I don't believe that I'm responsible for my father's choices. On the other, he never abused me growing up, besides some lies about the university fees, and other times I won't go into, and I feel sick to my stomach letting someone live on the streets. I am an only child, and my father has broken the trust of basically his entire family. I was not the only person he took some large sums of money from, so I am effectively his last resort. I am sticking to my decision of not letting him move in for the sanity and strength of my and my fiance's relationship and my own well-being. Am I the asshole for not helping my father? Ugh, okay. In the beginning, it seemed a lot more clear-cut. It kind of got more scrambled, to say the least, toward the end. It's nice that friends of his are allowing him to stay there for a little bit of time. It's not their responsibility to maintain his health or make sure he has a place to live. And maybe I'll be the asshole for this. I don't know. I would say you can extend an open arm, essentially paying for 5 years of your father's bills per se. Again, I don't know the depth to what you've been paying or how much money you've been giving him for 5 years, but that's a lot of money. Let me take that back. I don't know how much money. That's a long time to be giving someone money. I don't know how much it is, but 5 years is a pretty long time. I don't think it's really the kid's responsibility. Alcoholism is a weird topic because it's gonna be a hard road no matter who you are, whether you're the person trying to help or the alcoholic themselves. It's not gonna be easy for anyone. In my opinion, I don't think he's the asshole. It's a hard situation, but I don't think it's fair for the child to ever be responsible for the parents' living situation. It's one thing if you're like a senior and you know you're kind of your mind's degrading and you're losing your marbles there. I'm kind of going into this way deeper than I thought this would be. You're good in my book. That's a tough situation, my man, and I just rambled a whole lot. We're gonna move on to the next one, but I'm going with not the asshole. Not the asshole. This is hard, but you can't take responsibility for him for the rest of his life, which is what this would amount to. You also need to consider your fiance who has already suffered financially because of him. That's a great point. I didn't even bring up the fiance. I was going to say the finances. That's fucked up. The fiance. I'm bad with words today. You do need to consider your fiance as well. And if you've already blown your savings, then I think I agree with these people. There's a couple not the asshole, not the assholes. Or they're going with not the asshole. So bam, slap that label on there. Not the asshole. This post comes from Zelenia23. Hopefully I got that right. Am I the asshole for refusing to help my brother pay off his debt after he tried to publicly shame me? Well, off of the title, I'm already leaning one way. Public shaming. That's not good. I don't think that helps anyone. That's never an appropriate situation to publicly shame someone unless you're in the Stone Age and you're tarring and feathering someone. That's the only acceptable time. I, 19-year-old female, started a new job recently and saved up quite a bit of money over the past year. My family was proud of me, but my older brother, 25, male, immediately started making comments like, "You're finally rolling in cash, so I guess you can help your family now." He has always been bad with money, mostly wasting it on gambling and unnecessary purchases. Last week, he asked me for $3,000 to help pay off his credit card debt. He said he needed to avoid getting into more trouble. $3,000, man, that's a lot to ask from your 19-year-old sister? All right, well, we'll continue on before I say anything else, all right? Okay. I told him no, because I've seen how he handles money, and I don't trust him to use it wisely. He got mad and called me selfish, saying I was being unfair since I don't have any big expenses right now. It didn't stop there. A few days later, he went on social media and posted a rant about how I was hoarding money while my own family struggled. He even called me a bad sister for refusing to help. Now, some family members are saying I should have just lent him the money to avoid more drama. But I don't think I should have to pay for his mistakes. Am I the asshole? Clear cut, no. I'm not even going to the comments. You're not an asshole. You blew it! He's a 25-year-old man. I'm 83. Money's tough in the world right now. You're asking your 19-year-old sister for $3,000 for credit card debt. I think if you could tell her and show her what the credit card debt is, then maybe she would be willing. I don't know why I'm talking like I'm talking from his behalf. Oh, brother. You're not the asshole, Zelenia. No one's obligated, family or not, to give you money. I'm sorry, just no one is. There's billionaires in the world, and they won't give you a freaking penny. And they have billions of dollars. No one's obligated to give you money.
No! 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 No!
Okay, well, not the asshole. Zelenia, you're good. I might be the asshole, but you're fine. All right, next one. We got more to judge here, guys. We got a couple more, so don't leave yet, okay? We got a couple more. I need your help with this, all right? Am I the asshole for walking out of my birthday party because my roommate said it would be small? This one's from Throw RA roommate B-Day. Throw RA roommate B-Day. I, 25, female, share a condo with my roommate Sarah, 26, female. Sarah and I have been friends for a few years, and since we lived together, she offered to throw me a small birthday party at our place. I was on board with it since I don't like huge gatherings and prefer intimate celebrations with close friends. I have slight social anxiety as well. Welcome to the club. You throw a camera on me? I'm here, I'm talking, I'm chill. You throw me in public and I turn into a hamster. I'm not sure why, I'm just panicking from everything. Leading up to the party, I asked her what the plans were, and she assured me it would be a small get-together. Just a few of our mutual friends, cake, and maybe a movie. Sounded perfect to me. Well, the day of the party rolls around, and when I came home, I quickly realized it was anything but small. Sarah invited a ton of people, at least 50. Some were mutual friends, but a lot were people I barely knew or hadn't even met before. She had also set up a bunch of party decorations, hired a DJ, and there was even a huge table of food, drinks, and it felt like a full-blown house party, not the chill gathering I was expecting. Especially when I'm the center of attention, and this was way more than I had anticipated. I pulled Sarah aside and asked her why she invited so many people when we had agreed on something small. She shrugged it off. Oh, come on, it's your birthday. I wanted to make it special. Appreciated the effort, but this wasn't what I wanted. I felt completely uncomfortable and anxious. After trying to stick it out for a bit, I just couldn't handle it and decided to leave. I ended up going to a nearby coffee shop to calm down and clear my head. After I left, Sarah texted me asking where I was. I told her that I wasn't comfortable with the party and that I needed some space. Sorry, I need water here. I'm getting dry mouth, man. She was upset and said that I was being ungrateful for everything she did for me. Now, some of our friends are saying I overreacted and that Sarah was just trying to be nice by throwing me a big party. I feel bad for leaving, but I also feel like she completely ignored what I wanted. Am I the asshole for walking out of my own birthday party because it wasn't the small event I expected? I don't think you're the asshole. I'm just going to be forward and front with my answers here, okay? I don't think you're the asshole. I'm going to call you roommate B-Day because the first part throws me off. Around anywhere after the age of like 21, I think 21's your big last shebang. This is my opinion anyway. You're free to have your own. As I've gotten older, I've only wanted smaller parties. I don't want anything big. As much as I want to be the center of attention and have everyone love me, I don't do that well in a social situation. That's why I'm online. And maybe I'm reading way too much into this situation, but I feel like when someone throws a super huge party like that for their friend, sometimes that person is like projecting what they want the party to be, and not what the actual birthday girl or boy or whatever wants it to be. Sometimes you can use that as a form of like manipulation. So when the person's sad because that's not what they wanted, you're gonna kind of like gaslight them and be like, well, I made this huge party for you, why don't you love it? And then they're gonna feel bad because you did do all this shit, but now you're kind of gaslighting them. I don't know. It's a weird situation. I don't think you're the asshole. You want the party that you want. It's your damn birthday. Get what you want. That's all I'm saying. I'm getting heated over a birthday party that I'm not even invited to. Fine, I didn't want to go anyway. Next story. The next story is brought to us by Raven Rocks with a 0. Am I the asshole for telling my mother about what my sister was doing with her friends, causing her to get kicked out? Hey everyone, I'm posting this because I feel guilty and want some outside opinions. Well, let me give you the best and only opinion you need. It's mine. We live in the UK. Ooh. I, 19 male, don't want to live with my mother, Stacy, 39 female, and my sister Jessica, 18 female. They live together in my mum's flat. I have my own place. Jessica does not pay rent. Some context, my mother is currently going through some messy legal drama involving the custody of me and Jessica's sister, Claire, 2 years old, female, who is asthmatic, and this is important. Due to her ex-boyfriend, Claire's father, lying about her doing alcohol and drugs, she's currently staying in a monitored unit until next year so the socials can confirm she's all good. So am I understanding that Jessica is currently being monitored for alcohol and drugs based off the father's lie? I don't know how things go in the UK here, so I might have to wrap my brain around this a little bit as we get into the story. Oh, okay, on to the story. I guess that was just additional context. I came to the flat to keep Jessica company, as she apparently wasn't coping well with living alone. The first thing I noticed when I walked in was a boy I never met in Jessica's bedroom, sleeping in the bed. I was shocked, but I let it slide because I literally only just walked in the door after a 2-hour journey, and he went home later anyways. The next day, Mom called and asked Jessica to let her know if people are staying over. She didn't know the boy was there. She's just feeling uneasy or something. I don't know. Or if they're in the house and Jessica decided to argue with her over it instead of just accepting and apologizing. So after Mom hung up, I lectured her before I went on with our day. So I guess they got in an argument on the phone about having people. I guess Jessica's not supposed to be having people over in her flat, I guess. A little while later, we planned to go to a club, and Jessica invited 2 friends over for pre-game drinks. Goddamn, I'm out of touch. Without telling Mom. I didn't know this, and they were hanging out in her room whilst I play a game in the lounge. I eventually bought my entry ticket and went to Jessica's room to tell her when I noticed a massive cloud of weed smoke hanging in the air of the room. I was in disbelief and pretty much immediately called Mom to inform her, and she went mental. Jessica decided to argue with Mom about kicking the friends out, so Mom eventually broke and told Jessica that she's kicking her out and she's going to have to stay by our father, who isn't Claire's father, by the way. Jessica is fuming and isn't talking to me, and I feel really bad, but I honestly was going to go ballistic at her friends myself for the lack of respect. But I still want to know if I did anything wrong. I'm going to try to give a little bit of my thoughts toward this. I had a little bit of your mom established house rules and they're just not obeying them. Myself have been kicked out of the house before. So this isn't anything too far off of what I've dealt with in some ways. And I'm pretty sure when I was kicked out, I was 17. So I was just a hair younger than Jessica. But I was a stupid kid at one point, and I did things in the vein of this, just disobeying parents, all that kind of crap. I don't think you did anything wrong. If it's not your mother, if Stacy isn't your mom, then it's really between them. So I could kind of get the feeling a little uncomfortable because you're kind of telling, you're not blood related, but you're kind of telling on. I could see where a distrust and a weird thing. I don't know. I don't really think you're in the wrong though, personally, because depending on where you live, the owner of the home could get in trouble, or the flat, or something like that. Or if you're renting, what if your landlord calls on you and the mom gets arrested because she's the one that's on the paper for the flat or something like that? I don't know. Depending on some other context, it could be justified or not. That one little thing you said has a ripple effect. The ripples could be bad, but ultimately it's on Jessica for making the stupid decisions. She didn't have to do any of this. She could have did it outside the house and it wouldn't have been a problem. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with you're not the asshole. Jessica probably could have just avoided this situation by being, I don't want to say more responsible, because maybe you should just not do those things. But if you're going to go out and party, there's a right way to do some things and a wrong way. I think she chose the wrong way. Anyway, that's my verdict. Slapping you with not the asshole, Raven. That's my judgment. Next one is brought to you by Hot Shoe 2965. Am I the asshole? I, 20, female. Tell my mom, 48, female. I can't help her out on rent. I feel like I'm seeing this a little bit of a common trend, that parents have been asking their kids for money, which, besides the story, I get it, but I also find it a little bit odd. It's a tough economy right now, but you're asking your 20-year-old for money. Take that information, take it, chuck it out of your brain. My single mother had been working hard, trying to provide me and my sibling, 16, having 2 jobs and struggling with bills and rent. Before college, I would work to raise money and help her out with small bills. As time passed, now I'm looking to move and transfer to a different college in a different city, and I would like to have my own place. In order to move, I need to save, and my mom know about my goals and what I want to do in life and what's the next step. Okay, the grammar here. I don't know what college you're going to. I've been trying to move for the last 2 years and grow to be independent, and have delayed it because she needed my help a lot more. She's always struggling living paycheck to paycheck. She asked me if I can help for rent, and I said to her I can't. I'll try to help as much as I can, but really trying to save, and she started to cry and get mad that she's not getting my full help like she did the other times. At first it would be $50 to $100 here and there, and now it's going from $200 to $400. Okay, that's a pretty big jump. Even $50 to $100 is kind of a lot to ask some people. $200 to $400? That's $400. That's a lot to ask. especially if it's on a monthly basis. I feel really bad for not helping my mom as much after all the hard work she does already, but I'm trying to save extra in order to move out, not delay it again for other years. My boyfriend, 21, male, said I have to be firm with her and say no, and to put myself first in order to help her in the long run. Am I the asshole for not helping my mom so much? Am I the asshole for trying to leave while my mom is in a tough spot? There's been an edit here. A lot of people are asking that if I continue to help her, and yes, I am not only in just straight up money, but also bills, gas, and food, and taking care of the house and my sibling. I have been doing this since I was in 7th grade. I was earning money with my first job when I was 16 and giving her money almost half my paycheck. On top of that, I was going to college as well and paying it out of pocket as well. I have other expenses along with hers. I swear I don't want to live here for free while she struggles. I want to help as much as I can while I try to be more financially independent. Personally, this kind of barks back to what I was saying earlier, kind of referring back to that one with the alcoholic father. I'm old, like I said, I'm 87, so back about 39 years ago when I was 12, you should at some point be financially responsible yourself. That's what every parent wants for their kid, for them to eventually move out and pay their own bills and grow their own independent life and stuff, right? That's what most parents want, I think, still, hopefully. I think if you're forcing your kid to pay parts of your bills and stuff like that, it's one thing if it's agreed upon, which it kind of is here, but when someone's trying to work themselves into a position to get out, to financially be responsible enough to get out, but the parent is kind of not allowing that to happen, I don't think it's fair. I really don't think it's fair. I've been in some situation that was kind of like that in a weird way. I think it's one thing to like help them establish a budget and kind of like learn to be financially responsible and understanding budget, saving money, when to pay, when not to be like impulsive, when you can have a couple extra bucks and be impulsive. Learning all those kind of things are great. But I think by forcing your kid to pay your bills, you should be responsible enough. And if you're not, then you need a downgrade to where you can afford your bills and stuff yourself. I feel like I'm going to sound like an asshole saying that. That's my opinion, Hot Shoe. If you want it or not, it's there. I don't think you're the asshole. I think you're entitled to your money. Your money, you worked for it.
It's my money and I need it now!
Can't expect free handouts everywhere. Anyway, I'm going on. Not the asshole. Hot Shoe, you get my stamp. Not an asshole. Last story, I think, for the day, because this video is getting pretty long. Oh, God, this one's long. Maybe we'll just stick with those 4. We'll stick it with the 4, okay? We'll save this one for next time. I hope you guys enjoyed Am I the Asshole? If you guys want to see more of them, let me know down in the comments. Hopefully I get better at speaking the more I read, because it's been a few years since I read a book, okay?
The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
If you guys want to see more Am I the Asshole, let me know down in the comments. If you guys like the video, like, comment, do all those fun things. And hopefully we'll do some more, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!